The game of the week, huh? So
Yeah.
the Niners traveling, a little cross country,
Little road trip.
going to Jacksonville in the Florida heat. Again, I don't think the weather or the trip will be much of a factor. San Francisco obviously can get pretty warm. They're used to playing in warm weather. That's not going to be a problem. And it's off a bye, so they probably traveled a little bit early. If I had to guess, again, coming off a bye, you got plenty of time to get there early. Again, and I mentioned it's an interesting matchup because if you look at the Jaguars offense versus the Niners defense, on the back end, the Niners leave a lot to be desired. I like the Hufanga, the corner, the safety, but those DBs can get got. They can get burned every now and then. We know that Trevor Lawrence can air it out. So there's a good, strength on weakness in terms of Jacksonville. But look at the trenches. I don't know who's going to block Chase Young and Nick Bosa. I have no idea.
Yeah.
The offensive line leaves a lot to be desired in Jacksonville. So can Trevor Lawrence air the ball up? Absolutely. Is he going to have guys open? I think a lot of guys open. I think they're going to be able to they're going to have a good pass. They're going to have good options in the pass game if Trevor Lawrence can stay on his feet.
Sure, but
I just don't know if he's going to stay on his feet.
Yeah.
That's the issue. And then you flip around. San Francisco's offense has been struggling a little bit. Jacksonville's defense, they can get a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. We saw that against Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky when they played the Steelers. But I don't see there being a huge mismatch either way there, offensively or defensively. So let's get to the keys to win. Let's go Jacksonville offense first. Get Calvin Ridley the ball early. Get him in a rhythm. You can see his numbers if he gets, I think it's 3+ catches in the first quarter, what his production looks like across the rest of the game versus if he doesn't get that in the first quarter. It is a drastic difference. I saw it somewhere on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley, get him the ball early, get him in rhythm. That's the key for the Jaguars offense.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you need something to create a spark to kind of build off of, or else you're just going to lose it right out of the gates. You have to start hot against the 49ers.
Right, and well, who's their best after the catch receiver?
Ridley.
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
And we know you're going to have to get the ball out quick because you're not going to have all day back there with that pass rush. So who do we have to get in a rhythm early because we have to get the ball out early? Calvin Ridley.
First window throws.
We talk about it all the time. Jacksonville's defense, you got to get pressure on Brock Purdy. We've seen Brock Purdy and most average quarterbacks. I'm not trying to pick on Brock Purdy here. This is true for probably, 70% of the league. Anybody like Kirk Cousins or lower. Anywhere between the 8th and 10th best quarterback and down, if you get pressure on them, that's how you beat them. That's point blank. That's the end of the story. That's it. We've seen Brock Purdy fold under pressure. We've seen Kenny Pickett. I'm not saying, again, it's not just a Brock Purdy thing. It's an average quarterback thing, and Brock Purdy's certainly an average quarterback. Get pressure on him, you'll have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make him uncomfortable, force him into some batteries.
Because he's good with time.
Yeah, he is very good with time, but we've seen him return to more of a human level to the point where it's
I would say even less than. He turned into a pumpkin the last couple weeks.
Yeah, but the key for Jacksonville is going to be getting that pressure, making him make the bad reads, forcing him into bad throws and bad decisions.
Because he's turned the ball over a couple times.
You're going to need to get turnovers. You need to take the ball out of the hands of this 49ers offense if you want a chance, because if you let them have the ball too often, it's just over.
They can just ball control possession their way to victory. San Francisco offense, play a ton of 11 personnel. So a little behind the scenes here, 11 personnel is 1 tight end, 1 running back.
Yeah.
And that's the way to do it, because I think the weakness of the Jags defense, look, I don't think they're a great defense, but the specific weakness is the linebacking core. So if you can get George Kittle on a linebacker, as well as maybe Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield on a linebacker, now you're making 2 linebackers choose between, do we play the run, do we play the pass, do we play the play action? Now you're making them make choices in split decision moments against guys that are more talented than them.
Right.
That's when professional athletes make mistakes. If you have a linebacker that has to decide between the play fake for McCaffrey, then McCaffrey out of the backfield, or George Kittle coming across the middle in his zone, he can't make 3 decisions at once. He can't make the right decision more times than not.
Yeah.
Play a ton of 11 personnel and put stress on those linebackers in more ways than just one.
And the thing is, even if those linebackers make the right decision, then they're still left in a mismatch with somebody who's much more athletic than they are.
I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. San Francisco defense, take away Travis Etienne. Look, I love T-Law. Is he going to single-handedly win with no run game? I don't think so.
No.
If he has to drop back, you're going to have Chase Young and Nick Bosa, and they still have 4 other dudes that they can rotate in, pinning their ears back. That's not going to be good. So for San Francisco defense, take Travis Etienne away, make Trevor Lawrence beat you. Chances are, if it's one-dimensional, he won't be able to do so because of the pressure and because their secondary, San Francisco's secondary is fine if they don't have to hold up for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If they can hold up for 3, they're a really, really good secondary.
Well, before ETN got going, you can look at last year for that. The one dimension thing, it killed the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And people,
that was early in the year, yeah.
People forget about that. So if you can get him rolling, that's the key for the Jags. Conversely, if you can stop it, that's going to be the big thing.
Conversely, big word. Word of the day.
Sure. You usually have a couple of those. I think you used rigidity earlier in the show. So.
Word of the day.
Yeah.
Hey, what can you say? Not only can you get betting advice here, we'll talk about 11 personnel. You get vocab words. Come on now.
SAT words. You prepping for that SAT?
Absolutely.
What's the score prediction?
Ooh. San Francisco 27, Jacksonville 21.
Maybe like a 6-point game.
I think it's going to be pretty close, though. I think it's going to be a lot closer than you think.
More of a...
I'm actually going to go early in the fourth quarter. It's going to be 21-20 Jacksonville. Somewhere around the 10-minute mark, San Francisco score. Their defense will hold them off.
Who's going to score at the 10-minute mark?
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
If that happens, I swear to God, I'm taking it to the bank.
We're clipping this and putting it everywhere. No, I'm gonna go higher scoring again, as I normally do. I don't think the Jacksonville defense is going to hold up all that well against San Francisco. I'm gonna go 33-23.
Oh, 10-point game. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I do think this has game of the week, at least potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fair enough.
Should be pretty good.
That's it.
All right, guys. That's all we have.